seems like the mysteries in Disney cars never end. Cars spitting? A black market? Motorcycles exist? That's right, folks, let's take a look at some of the biggest mysteries and curiosities in cars that simply have no explanation at all. First, here's an Easter egg that not even someone who's watched every episode of CSI would have noticed. In Cars 2, when Finn McMissile is surrounded on a platform, you can spot the initials MA in the corner. Pretty suspicious, right? Considering the main villain's name is Miles Axelrod. That's right, folks. Those initials on the oil rig stand for the movie's antagonist, Miles Axelrod. Pixar, we appreciate your creativity, but did you really think we'd notice that in the middle of explosions, spies, and a tow truck acting like James Bond? This one's crazy. It happens during the final race of the Piston Cup. The crowd is hyped, the cars are revving their engines, and suddenly, we see these two streetcars in the stand spitting down at the others? These guys were like, "Oh, you're not rooting for McQueen? Well, here's some premium gasoline saliva for you." Now, my philosophical question is, how the heck does a car spit? Does their windshield wiper fluid act as saliva? Or do they have a tiny emergency spit tank? This scene really left us confused. Welcome to Pixar's bizarre territory. There was a scene in Cars 2 where Leland Turbo gets captured and of course crushed like a cheap soda can. Honestly, I don't think it was necessary to add so much drama, so they cut it from theaters. But they still made it very clear what happened to poor Leland. After all, we do see him turned into a Minecraft cube in the movie. Alright, tuning and modding fans, turns out McQueen's rims are not just any rims. Pixar went all out and designed his wheels based on actual NASCAR ones. Because obviously, you can't be the fastest car and roll around with some flimsy hubcaps. Basically, McQueen's rims are the equivalent of limited edition Jordans in the real world. Maybe that's why he acted so untouchable. Now, here's a detail only Pixar would include. During McQueen's journey to California in Cars 1, near the end of his trip, a cloud appears in the sky that's exactly shaped like Willie's Butte. Who even notices that? No one! And if you did catch it, congratulations! Your attention to detail is FBI level. The best part? That cloud isn't just decoration. It's actually a spoiler. It foreshadows the place where Doc Hudson teaches McQueen his racing skills, and where they even have a race. This is pretty clever because right after, those tuned up cars make McQueen fall out of Mac and get lost in Radiator Springs. Pixar loves dropping hints about what's coming next. Here's a fun fact that will probably blow your mind. Jackson Storm's logo and the sign are inspired by the symbol for a tropical storm. Of course, Pixar tweaked it to match his initials and dark personality, making it the perfect contrast to McQueen. After all, he's lightning, and Jackson is the storm. Also, did you notice that his racer number is not exactly 20, but 2.0? This refers to the next generation racers, being the 2.0 version. The planet seen in the background for the Cars 2 poster went through a lot of changes. If we compare it to Earth, in Cars, it's actually made up of car silhouettes. Pay close attention. Ireland is shaped like Lightning McQueen. The one near Canada is Mater. The Dominican Republic's island is Finn McMissile. The lake between the US and Canada is Francesco. And Iceland is Professor Zed. Bet you didn't see that one coming! Now, this next detail is for those with perfect vision. In Sterling's office in Cars 3, there's a photo of Miles Axelrod and Queen Elizabeth. Could this mean Sterling had some kind of connection to one of them? Go ahead, come up with your own theories. In Cars 3, when they show the Demolition Derby fans watching the final Florida race, there's a super creepy and interesting detail. On one of the walls, you can see motorcycle handlebars mounted like a trophy. Like they hunted a motorcycle and displayed it the same way people mount deer heads. Planes already look weird in Cars, but I really don't want to imagine what a motorcycle would look like. Speaking of weird stuff, there's another pretty disturbing scene if you really think about it. When Mater and the spies arrive in France, they come across a market with lots of shops selling car parts. But if you look closely, it's actually a black market. The shady looking vendors, the sketchy atmosphere. Yeah, there's no way those parts are stolen. Maybe that's why Finn tells them not to stop, otherwise they'd probably get mugged and lose everything, including his body parts? This is a crazy thought that just came to me. Are these like human body parts but with car parts? At the World Grand Prix introduction, before Mater accidentally signs up a McQueen, we already see lighting in the promo, despite him not being confirmed as a racer yet. It's like they already knew he was gonna enter because Francesco was gonna hurt his ego. And here's another small detail. The colored lines behind each car seem to match the flag colors of their countries, but if you look closely at the one that's supposed to be McQueen, it actually looks like the Spain flag. The minivans couple from the post-credits scene in Cars 1, the ones who got lost because they refused to use a map, actually got a follow-up in Cars 2. During the final race in Radiator Springs, when the racers speed past them, their luggage goes flying, and a bunch of maps scatter everywhere. Looks like they finally learned their lesson. Cars 3 was originally gonna be completely different from what we got on screen. The plot was supposed to follow McQueen and Sally exploring Southern California's car culture, visiting auto skate parks, showing off car modifications, and even featuring famous movie cars like the Batmobile, Herbie the Love Bug, the Ghostbusters car, and the Back to the Future DeLorean. It was all supposed to tie into Hollywood's car scene. While Lightning McQueen's name stays the same across languages, Mater's name changes a lot depending on the country. For example, in Spanish, he's called Tom Mate instead of Tao Mater. And they even joke about his name sounding like tomato. Tomate.
Mi nombre es Mate. Sí, como tomate, pero sin el to.
Here are some of his names worldwide. As we said, in Spanish and Portuguese, he is called Mate. In French, Martin. In Polish, Zomek. In German, Hook. In Dutch, Takel. In Hebrew, Matu. In Italian, Criceto. In Swedish, Barden. In Japanese, Meta. In Danish, Bummel. Finnish, Marty. In Norwegian, Bill. In Russian, Mater. And in Ukrainian, Cernik. Tell me in the comments if I pronounced every single one of them right! In Cars, there are a few moments where we see tiny little cars that clearly look like kids or babies. But here's the question that will ruin your childhood. Where do they come from? Are they built in a factory? Are they lovingly assembled piece by piece? Well, the answer might be in the scene where McQueen gets sentenced in Radiator Springs by Doc Hudson. Because behind him, there's a picture where a ton of cars are coming from the factory. Or else, what does this picture mean? And if there are baby cars, do they have parents? Or do they just adopt spare parts and call them son? I don't know, but at least we can be calm knowing that Francesco does have family. Pixar left this mystery completely unanswered. In the post-credits scene of Cars 1, near the end, we can see Frank and the other cows casually watching the movies from behind the fence. What's even funnier is that with every shot, more and more cows start gathering, and surprisingly, Frank looks completely calm here. Guess the movies really help him relax. Here's one of the weirdest things. Cars drink fuel as if it were food or beverages. Literally, there are gas stations that function like restaurants. So what's the deal with octane levels? Does a premium car only drink gourmet fuel? Do other cars ask for light gasoline? How do they pay? Imagine a waiter. Would you like regular or ultra premium fuel for your special date? And a car responding, just regular please, I'm on a diet. Also, what happens when someone gets fuel poisoning? And that's it for all the crazy hidden details in the Cars movies. Did you notice any others? Let us know in the comments.